Hey everyone, welcome back to the Rust programming. And in this lecture, we are going to talk about the variables and mutability. So variables are how we are going to store the data that is necessary for our application to run. And then the mutability is going to refer how the data can be manipulated. So if it is mutable, then we are able to modify the variables. But if it is not mutable, then we are not allowed to modify the variable or modify the data. So let me demonstrate here. We are going to create a new directory here. I'm using cargo new variable. And here you can see that the new directory has been created by the name is variable. And let me get inside this directory. So you are already familiar with the directory structure. I'm just going inside the main.rs file and removing this print statement. So here we are using a let keyword, which is basically tells the language, hey, this is going to be a variable, followed by the variable name and the value we want to assign to that variable. So let x is equal to 10. That means the value 10 is assigned to the variable x. So if I want to print this variable, I'm just using print macro. More about these macros in upcoming videos, but as of now you can use the println to print the values in the terminal. Inside the curly braces I am passing the value of x. So if I run this program by using cargo run, so here you can see that the 10 is now printed in my terminal. Now let's try to change the value of x. So I'm reassigning the value of x as 11 and try to run this program again. So here you can see that it is saying cannot assign twice to mutable variable x. So what does that mean? It means that value of x initially assigned as 10, which is non-mutable variable. It says that we cannot mutate this variable x. So if we want to mutate this variable, what we need to do, we need to use a new keyword named as mute, and this keyword is basically allow us to mutate the variable in future. So if I print the value of x again and run the program, so you can see that the value of variable initially it was 10 and now it is 11. So that means we are able to manipulate the value which is stored in x. Now this is the concept of mutability. So if we want to mutate the variables, then we need to use a mute keyword to manipulate the value which is stored in a variable. Now there is one more concept which I want to discuss here, which is const. So if I declare a variable with const followed by, let's say, seconds is equal to 6c, it is throwing a new error. That means I haven't defined the type of this variable. So let me define here i16. We have defined the variable with the type 16, and if I print the value of this variable, and run the program, so you can see the 16 second is now printed in our terminal. But if I try to make it mutable, then the compiler is throwing an error that the const globals cannot be mutable. So we cannot make the const variable as mutable. So if you have a requirement that the variable will never be going to change, then you can use the const. But if the variable is going to change several times, then you have to use the mute keyword with let. So that's all for this lecture. I'll see you in the next one.